morning. Recording here and get started. We'll call this meeting of the Nicholas County Commission to order. Today is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023, and it is 9:12 a.m. If we could begin with the motions.
After review and waive the reading of the 2023 Board of Review and Equalization minutes, the minutes to approve the levy estimate official budget document for the fiscal year July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, the minutes of April 5th, 2023, with a motion to approve or amend.
Okay, that motion is on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, move to approve accordingly.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the state and judiciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
Okay, that motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from the elected officials and department heads, the County Commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of all the invoices as submitted by the various department heads and offices, the Commission will take appropriate action deemed necessary.
Okay, that motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. For our public comment period, we do have with us Claudia Parsons regarding the fire fee. What we have is, by state code, we have a 3-minute time frame, and the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I wanted to give you some paperwork. So I'm on a time limit, so I don't want to go past. Do I stay in my chair or what?
However you'd like.
Okay. I'm not affiliated with anything. I'm just here by myself. And when I saw in the paper that we were supposed to have a fire fee, I wasn't sure what that was about. Saw it in the paper. Then I saw the update that it got approved. I was like, well, that was pretty quick. But then there was an amendment to it stating that if you have buildings or it's just a blank piece of property, that you're exempt from having to pay for that. So then that whittled it down to just a place of residence where you live in. The thing that kept gnawing at me was I already paid that fee through my house insurance. Why am I paying for it again? But because of that's way beyond my scope, I went and investigated, and I talked to my insurance person, and I talked to a few other people, and the conclusion that I came with is that my line of thinking is correct, that not only the people that have the property, if you have insurance, then there's no reason to pay the fire fee again since it's already in the policy. So then I called the courthouse to ask questions, and the lady that was supposed to answer and wasn't there, but the lady that answered the phone helped me. And she told me, well, she said that when it came through, she said now you have a choice of whether you want to apply it to the $35 fire fee or if you want to apply it with the insurance. I said, no. I said, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's right, because you took that option away from me by saying you have to pay this, whether you like it or not. So now I'm paying double for the exact same thing. Why can you not do it like the DMV does? And that's the example that I gave her. On the back of the bill, because I brought it with me, and it's a copy of it. Just on the back of it, right on there, I have an existing policy with the name of the insurance company, the representative, and your name that's on there along with the dates of the coverage on there. So then that would exempt of just paying it just one time. Because by doing it this way, then it gets labeled as double dipping. Because human nature, if they don't ask, I'm not going to tell. So then if my house gets burnt down, well then they say, I already paid the $35 fire fee, okay, that's fine and dandy, but then when we go through our insurance company, because 9 times out of 10 everybody goes through an insurance company, then it gets paid again. So that's $500 twice that the same entity gets paid for. So then there's no option there to begin with. So all I'm proposing is that the people that have insurance either put the information on the back of it and let them know that they are covered, or print off, because everybody has access to it now, because it's different now than it was before, have access to the declaration saying yes to prove. Because I mean, it's your word against mine, I'm not gonna go by your word. I want documentation to show, because you're talking about money, you know. I want documentation saying, yes, you do have insurance, so you are exempt from that.
Right. Well, a few things to clarify, I do want to clarify. The fire board worked on this for 4 years, had public meetings, the Chronicle was there for 4 years worth, and this is not a situation of insurance. What this is a funding mechanism the fire board requested and the commission put in place to sustain our fire departments. The insurance route, you only get paid per call, per fire, per things like this, whatever. This is sustainability, so the fire departments can stay open, improve their equipment to actually lower your insurance. Probably more than $35. I don't know if your insurance will tell you that, but it should with your ISO rating, and to keep them preserved more so than to cover insurable acts. However, this commission did instruct the fire board that if you pay your fire fee, you will not be billed for an incident that happens at your home and or a car wreck that if a county agency responds to your car wreck in Nicholas County, you will not be billed for it.
But doesn't our taxes cover for the fire
They
department?
do. The commission is tasked with fire protection. However, each fire department has its own individual charters, and so they are actually not our entities. However, if they go away, the Nicholas County Commission starts buying fire trucks, and we do not want to do that.
So the bottom line is that it's not for, they come to my house, it's not to pay for the $500 showing up and taking care of it. Okay, where does that $500 go then?
I'm not sure what the $500 will do.
When the insurance company, if we've had somebody come to our house before and they've asked, are you have on your insurance, are you covered with fire?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well then the insurance company gets billed.
Right. So in this scenario, once you, or if you pay your $35, it's mandated that citizens pay. But when you pay the $35 fire fee and they come to your home for an incident, they won't bill you. What this is an upfront way for us to sustain our fire departments versus waiting to bill, because with code, construction practices, and everything else improving, we're having less calls, fire departments are making less money. The state cut their funding in half that they get from the state, and we had 3 fire departments ready to close. And you just wouldn't have a fire department.
The fee is to ensure that there is a fire department that can show up to a call.
Right. Right. But we added in, you pay, you don't get billed if and when, God forbid, you do have an incident.
And just to be clear, there was not an amendment to the fire fee. That was just an interpretation that you cover different tracks, but that was not, there has not been an amendment once the fire fee was enacted.
So then what is the correct way that we fill out our paperwork? Because I got 3 tickets and only one of them I reside on, the other 2.
Okay, if the 2 that are like vacant land,
Mhm.
if you literally just want to write vacant land across it and mail it in, they'll verify it and then take it off the books. And then that way, next year, that should not be a problem. We had to go, the county assessor's office couldn't get it to us in time, so we had to go to the state assessor's office, tax department, and their information was just skewed, to be quite frank with you. So I apologize for that. That should have never went to you. But if you'll send that back as vacant land, then it will be corrected in our system permanently going forward.
Only fee should be $35.
Right, only the 1, not the 3. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add one thing. I'm all about informed decisions and proper expectations. So the next time you reach out to your insurance company, ask them if they pay 100% of the billed amount to 100% of the claims that come in from the fire departments. Because that's actually not, it's usually a negotiated rate. So they pay extremely less than what the fire department even bills them, even if they pay it at all. So that's kind of, somehow I don't understand that aspect of it as well, but it's optional. So the fire departments will bill out, sometimes they don't get anything back, or it's a settled amount on that. And then the other thing that Garrett touched on, the ISO rating, just if fire departments start to go out, talk to them about an ISO rating, that if your ISO rating went from like 3 to 9, what the difference in your homeowner's insurance would be, and I think the $35 will make a lot more sense at that point, I really do. So let's say you pay $400 a year right now, the fire department goes out and it's a longer response time, that $350, $400 could go to $3,500 to $4,000. So it'd be 10 times the amount you're paying right now if we don't have a fire department or the potential right there. So hopefully that helps a little bit offset that, the burden of the 35.
Okay. Sorry we're running late. That was
It's okay.
some technical difficulties me and Patty had to work out. We're here now, right?
sorry.
But we're here now with Cassandra Lawson, who is the Senior Project Specialist at Region 4 Planning and Development Council. This is concerning the City of Richwood Hinkle Mountain Little Laurel Waterline Extension Project, Resolution Number 13.
Yep, and that's the only thing I have for you today. So Resolution 13 includes payment for construction contracts 1 and 2, as well as engineering services and admin services. Contract 1, which is the Little Laurel Water Extension Project, the invoicing is in the amount of $34,461.36. Contract 2, which is the Hinkle Mountain Water Extension, is in the amount of $544,810.20. Engineering services are for construction representative totaling $29,917.23, and administrative services are for September, October, November, and February, totaling $5,250.49, for a total of $614,439.28. So of that, the drinking water treatment revolving fund that the city has is going to pay $579,977.92. So all we're asking from the commission's portion of funding today is $34,461.36. And that is for contract number 1, the Little Laurel Water Extension Project. So after you...
The water revolving fund, is there any funds remaining in that after that $579,000?
There are.
Okay.
But the way that it's set up is we just kind of went through all the funding sources and went in order, contract 1, 2, 3, so that's why they're so far down. But there's still a substantial amount of funding in that loan. There's still like $2 million in that loan. We haven't even, they also have a West Virginia Water Development Authority Economic Enhancement Grant. We haven't tapped those funds yet. So if approved today, the Nicholas County Commission's remaining commitment will be $531,794.36. We've got the bulk of the funding in Little Laurel Water Extension. Once that's utilized, then we'll move on to the Hinkle Mountain. We've got some money for you guys in that one too. But overall, after today, there's still more than $6 million left in the project with all the funding sources combined. And I read it earlier, but I'll just go ahead and reference it again. Based on the amounts paid, Little Laurel is approximately 53% complete. Hinkle Mountain is 61% complete. The Hinkle Mountain water storage tank is 22% complete, and the water treatment plant is 9% complete. And just as a heads up, the city will also approve this, and all of the contractors pay estimates and that sort of thing, but that won't happen until their meeting tomorrow. But we thought it would be more proactive to come to you today. That way we didn't have to wait until your first meeting in May to get this approved, to get the ball rolling on the funding.
And then the funding of the $579,977, is that available now, or is that one that might have to go through the process to where sometimes we run late like we have before?
It won't be as quick as the commission's funding, but we don't anticipate any issues with that funding. We were having a lot of delay with the community development block grant funds, but those have been completely expended. Actually, we're waiting on the last little piece of money, but like the commission, you helped the city out with that before. This was a lot lesser amount, so the city has gone ahead and paid that, and now, in similar situation to you, they're waiting on that reimbursement. So that is taken care of. The drinking water program, we see a pretty good turnaround time with them, usually about 30 days.
Well, I'd like to recommend approval of the $34,461.36 request.
So moved.
Okay, the motion is made by Commissioner Chapman. Now any discussion? Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against, motion does carry.
And Patty, this is another one of those, it's like 80 pages long, and it won't be fully executed until tomorrow, so I'll send you an electronic copy.
Okay.
Anything else for me? All right, have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the nice weather. See ya.
Okay. Now we have with us Mr. Gary Gerald, who is the director of the Day Reporting Center, and Sherry Cook, and who is a deputy chief probation officer. This is regarding adding another wall, I'm assuming for a classroom or something like that, additional bathrooms at the Day Reporting Center. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, we just, we're sort of outgrowing, the building's big, you all know that, but we're sort of outgrowing the use of restrooms. We have, I counted before we came up to the meeting, we have 82 people in my program, Sherry's program, and Family Treatment Court program. They're not all there every day at the same time, but you know, we also have people from DHHR, from parole. We do outside drug tests. People pay for private tests. And we had, when we built the wall the last time, you all approved the wall, we had somebody to look behind the existing bathrooms into the store, or the garage area. And whoever it was, I can't remember who it was, they figured that they could probably build 2 small bathrooms. It would be a lot easier near the existing bathrooms. And we would also like to build a shower for you know, some various reasons. But we would just like to know the protocol of how to do that. And like I said, we do need an additional wall or 2 for some privacy. We do have classes. We have a men's and women's trauma class that needs to be totally out of the earshot of everyone. And we just don't have that right now. We've got other entities, and like I said, we have parole in the building on Mondays. We have home confinement in there at times, and you know, and there's several individuals sitting around where we have our women's trauma group right now, and they can't really, you know, articulate what they want to say and what they want to do in the meetings, and we want to, you know, we just want to know the protocol. I mean, it's Earl's building, and we want, you know, we'd like to get somebody down there and take a look if we can build 2 additional bathrooms and a shower, and maybe a couple additional walls for some classes. That's just why we're here. So.
Where do you think you would section off for more classrooms?
Well, upstairs, you know, I know what it's like right at the top of the steps. That's our primary place where we have it. And then you go up to the very top. We would like to build one across that top step, and then maybe one downstairs as you walk in the door from the parking lot on this side of the road. You know,
Yeah.
like we have a little kitchen area over there, but we can just, you know, maybe work it in that way, and maybe put 1 big one or 2 small ones. So, and then I know you all know about the issue with the roof. I mean, it's going to have to be looked at in the future, but you know, that can be used later on. But we don't want to do anything up there right now because of the condition. I mean, the tiles are falling, and somebody came and did a you know, repair just to keep the water from coming all the way through. But that's, like I said, we're just kind of outgrowing the building, and the building is just like full of times. We sometimes it takes us 2 hours to get our people drug tested. And, like we had court today. All of Sherry's people were here today, which is probably 40, 50 people. And we just like to, you know, get the process of how to look about to see how to do it and get an estimate or whatever. So.
Why don't I just meet with them and walk through and figure out what they want, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with it whatsoever. The only request I would make is, once you come up with the general floor plan, is just check with Clerk Painter, so we can make sure and still try and use the space for election night.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it wouldn't,
that's the only thing
what we looked at before, it wouldn't affect that at all.
Okay.
We keep that clear. It's not clear right now, but when it's time, we keep that clear for election. No
Okay.
issue there. It wouldn't be in the way at all.
But I see nothing wrong with Commissioner Chapman meeting and looking at all of these projects
We appreciate
for the
it.
building.
Okay.
Remember, that's got to be ADA compliant.
Yes,
I'll get in touch with them.
okay.
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, will these be fully functional bathrooms, or will they be like more, could you build something that's more friendly to like a urinalysis? I think the ones I went into before when I was in the military, just like this thing washed or there was no water at all. I don't remember how that worked. It might be a little easier to speed people through as you go through that. I don't know exactly how you guys do it, but.
I mean, there's a process that we do with every person that drug screens, so.
Like I literally went in, there's been no water active in the bathroom, so it
Right.
kind of speeds things up a little bit, it really does.
Yeah.
For us, yeah. When I was in the military, that's how they done
It's something to look at, though.
it. Yeah. Just something
Yeah.
that might make you more efficient.
Well, that might even be something else to look at on top of.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
For the
Right,
current
yeah.
ones that we use now.
Yeah, I'd like,
We just want to speed up the process, but we have to go, we have to make sure the drug tests are done correctly.
Yes,
again,
yes,
so that's, um,
we'll look at it, for sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Okay. Now we have with us Attorney Paul Clay regarding a road closing of Malcolm, within the Malcolm development.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, let me tender to the clerk a publication of this hearing. This was published, very substantial notice of this hearing to any interested parties. Application to close unused portion of the unnamed street or alley near waters of Meadow Creek. And it's a very full recitation of what we're doing here today. Mr. Roy Richardson is present with me here today, and what we have filed with the commission, and I have an extra copy here if
When we can pass down to, yeah.
if you
We'll just pass it.
if you guys haven't seen this, I'm not sure what the commissioners have seen. Mr. Richardson's here today. We filed a verified petition here. Mr. Richardson and his wife are petitioners, as is their neighbor Jacob Long. They have all signed this petition. It's easiest to understand if one looks at Exhibit D on the back. This street, let me show you Exhibit C first. This street comes out of the subdivision and comes through between Mr. Richardson's property and Mr. Long's property and dead ends right between their properties. And they are, in essence, they are the only people that are affected by this. This is Mr. Long's 2 lots. This is Mr. Richardson's 2 lots. This property over here is not part of the subdivision and has no right to use this street. The people out here won't be affected. They still have the use of the street. So it's really a very simple matter. And they are requesting that the street be abandoned so that basically they can just close this off. They don't use this end of the street. They'll just close it off and make it part of their yards essentially. And as I said, Mr. Long executed the petition, as did Mr. Richardson.
And does this cause any landlocking or anything of that nature for the Michael and Brandy Painter?
No, they don't have the right to use this street. They're not part of the subdivision.
They probably go straight to 129.
They have their own access out here, and they're not part of the subdivision, so it doesn't affect them at all. And the people out on this end, they still have the street.
Right.
There was an earlier plat of Mr. Richardson's property that shows that private drive comes in on that street. It was labeled private drive, but it's actually part of the subdivision street that comes into Mr. Richardson's house here. And this is the street right up to here, and we're abandoning from here on. I had him resurvey the end of it so you'd have a very specific description of what is in fact being abandoned, so that we could put that in the abandonment order.
Okay.
So we would request that the commission order that section described in Exhibit D abandoned to Mr. and Mrs. Richardson and to Mr. Long.
I looked at when he first filed it, when it first came up, and it impacts no one other than the two petitioners, so I saw no issue with it.
And with all the notices and everything, we can make a decision today.
Yeah, essentially,
to
the
point.
people impacted are the people who filed the petition, so.
I just filed the notice, so
And everybody that could have wanted to make a complaint, that was part of the notices, that's already been taken care of.
Usually there's a schedule, yeah. Is it 30 feet wide?
I believe that's correct. I just hid it away again. 20 feet? Mr. Richardson tells me it's 20. Let's see, L2 and L3 are the lines.
Yes. Yes. Showing a distance of 10 feet on lot.
Right here. Oh, here's the bearing.
Yeah.
The bearing is right here where my thumb is. You can see that. So it would be 10 feet on each side, abandoned 10 to Mr. Richardson and 10 to Mr. Long.
And it butts up against a piece of property that is Wilderness Chalets, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see a piece of equipment sitting there that looks like somebody's using that road in another property back here. Is that the case?
No, sir. I mean, I don't know
Does your
which
image
way
having a date
it's
on it?
coming, but it dead ends at the end.
Looks like it's sitting right at the dead end, like where it ends off and right beside there, so looks like there's some equipment or something there.
On Mr. Painter's property.
Yeah, let me go back to where I was at.
Like kind of out in here at this area.
Yep.
Is that outside the subdivision?
Yes.
They would have no right to use the subdivision streets.
That's right. That's right. I'm trying to get a pull up on mine, but Mr. Clay has already mentioned, that's right.
Does that other property owner need to have a notice?
He has no right, no, he has no rights.
And you've looked at the deeds that it doesn't say that they can use that in kind or anything?
I did look at the adjacent property owners, but the law was very, in fact, I know Paul's in a case now, and I'm in a case now where we have these same issues. And if you're not in the subdivision, you don't have the right to use the subdivision streets.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, which I guess with those cabins and stuff, they should have different access. Yeah.
Which, did they go to here?
Yeah, right.
And this section is not even been open as a road. There's actually no road there. Ends before it gets there. I've been in this very exact fact situation before Judge Blake the last 2 years and have a very clear ruling on that issue.
I would recommend approval of this request of the closing of the road with the information given here today and placed on the public record.
And the property will be divided between the two landowners?
It's a 10 and 10.
That's correct.
And that's the statute.
Okay.
Make that motion.
Commissioner Roberts, second motion. So moved. That motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Mr. Clay, thank you for coming in.
Paul, how do you intend to record that? By order?
Usually, that's what we do in Fayette County, is we do an order.
In the past, I mean, that's the way I do it, but somebody at some point decided the county commission should sign a deed, and I don't think they can do that. So just an order we can
I've
find.
never seen the deed.
I want to do that.
but I've seen orders put in the deed book.
Yes, what I'd like to see is an order for the commission to sign with your survey.
Yeah, attach the survey to the order, yes. I'll prepare the order,
Sure.
get it to you for your review.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go off the record.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
We're here now concerning the estate of Hosley Lee Granison, file number 10541, with a contesting administrator of the estate. We do have with us by phone
Ashley Smith.
Ashley Smith. And then those here present, if you would state your names, please.
My name is Laura Hamrick.
Okay.
Paul Clay representing Laura Hamrick.
Okay. And Ms. Smith, I'm going to trust you with the honor system here, but for everyone that will be speaking to this matter here this morning, if you would please raise your right hands. Okay. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the matter now in hearing, your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I do. Thank you. Okay. And then we have with us Mr. Griffin.
Well, Ashley's the mother to Isaac Hosey, who is the heir to Lee Hosey, and she had filed an objection to the appointment of Laura Hamrick. And I would just let Ashley explain, her side.
Just to be clear though, the appointment was 30 days, beyond 30 days after this decedent died, so it was done in compliance with the statute.
And she did have a bond.
Okay, do you mind if we see the file?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, Mrs. Smith,
I
the
gave you
floor
a
is yours, and if you would like to explain to the commission your contest.
I'm sorry, what?
If you would like to begin and explain your position on this matter.
Okay, honestly, I feel, well, Isaac and I both feel like he should be the one that's, getting involved with things, and first of all, and splitting them amongst everyone. I mean, he tried to call the landlord, where his father lived, and the landlord told Isaac, the 12-year-old, that, Laura had already been saying bad things, and Isaac's already afraid that, for whatever reason, he's not going to get his dad's things because I don't even know what was said, at his dad's place, but he's 12, and what was said over there, he's afraid that, I don't even know how to say it, but I don't even know how to explain it. I guess basically the hate for me is going to get in the way of how things should go for him.
Okay, and is there anything else?
No, basically, just that, what should be done the right way, what should be done right for Isaac and Lee.
I'm sorry, who is Lee?
Lee Hosey.
Okay. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I see it there now. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Clay.
If I may respond, as counsel for Ms. Hamrick, the young man, Isaac, has nothing to be concerned about Laura Hamrick has retained me as counsel. This is actually a fairly complicated situation. Lee is an heir of the estates of Isaac Hosey, who's the grandfather of young Isaac, and Regina Hosey. Those estates are somewhat complicated in that Isaac, the grandfather, has an estate that has over 50 weapons in it, which we are in the process of having appraised before we file the appraisement in that estate in order to value that estate and determine what share would come to Lee and would be a part of Lee's estate. So those estates have to be administered to the point that we have a sense of that value that would come down to Lee's estate. Lee's estate itself has 4 guns in it, a vehicle with a lien to Capital One with a balance. We have a fresh balance of $19,000 some dollars. So far, the claims against the estate include a WVU Hospital $8,000, US Cellular $1,800, WVU Princeton $6,700. The funeral was paid for in part by donations by employees at Dollar General of $1,700 and $2,100 from Laura herself. So we've got considerable claims against that estate, and in order to release anything of value from the estate, we have to determine what the claims are. And as you know, we have to file the appraisement first to start the 60-day claim period, but we don't want to file the appraisement till we know what all we have coming from Isaac's estate. So we've got a chicken over the egg thing going here. We've got to finish the appraisement in Isaac's estate, to put those numbers into Lee's estate, then we can file the appraisement in Lee's estate, and then that will start the 60-day claim period. And then we determine whether we have to sell these guns or not. As far as any personal effects or things like that would go to Isaac, those are being protected. Getting everything out of the apartment and putting it in a secure location was something that was done to protect those items, not in a manner to do any harm to Isaac or to deprive him in any way. What was there, his death was untimely. He was in the apartment and no one could get in. It was a difficult situation, so they got those items out and put them in a secure place so that no one would break in and get those guns and other things that were there that could have been dangerous if somebody had gotten to them. But they're being taken care of, but the estate has to be administered properly and legally in order for us to determine and then I've looked at the legal issues. If we can get enough assets out of Isaac's estate to pay the debt so that there would be guns to transfer to a 12-year-old in Kentucky, the legal effect and requirements of transferring weapons from West Virginia to a guardian in Kentucky, that's not a simple thing either. So this has some legal complications to it. But Laura Hamrick has no intentions of depriving Isaac at all. There's a clear recognition in the family that Isaac is the sole heir of Lee.
These gentlemen both passed fairly close to each other? Is that why we're...
Yes, my mother passed August 30th, 2022. My father passed November 30th, 2022. My brother passed February 18th, 23. So all within a span of 6 to 8 months.
All right.
Which has put some considerable stress on Laura.
Yes.
I was just trying to figure out why the grandfather's estate was still open and unsettled, so it was just
Right.
time. Okay.
Yep. And to get 50-plus guns, to get values on those, to put in the appraisement. This is not a situation where ordinarily I would have people just make estimates, but given the number and the type of guns these are, we're getting professional people to give us values, so we're not just throwing things against the wall here and then have to come back later and have completely different numbers than what we put in an appraisement. I've recommended that they, get solid numbers to put in this appraisement rather than just guesses. Yeah, and I assume that makes sense to everyone. Yes, sir.
Mr. Clay's client's under bond too, so the heir is protected.
And so the things that Isaac would have, no, not Isaac, Lee would have inherited from his father, other assets, before the son could get that, it's got to pay all those liens and bills out of that also.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. And what he inherits from grandfather Isaac, we can use to pay Lee's bills.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, there are 3 children of Isaac, so he would get a third, Lee would get a third of that, and then we can use that to pay these bills of Isaac's and hopefully shake out a net number that will go to grandson Isaac.
And just the next note, and you know this well, but open up communication. Apparently she's talking like nobody's talking to her. Communication will do wonders. Just talk, and you don't have to come here to us.
I had just been in possession of administration paperwork for 5 days. And I did
That's
speak
fine,
with her.
but you have a mouthpiece. Let him call.
I will, absolutely.
That's
what I prefer.
That just open communication, and that way it doesn't have to come to a decision.
Thank you.
We understand this was all real close in time.
Okay.
As you can tell.
You good?
Yeah, you still have to later term.
Is there anything else we need to hear or prepare to make a decision?
Does she want to respond?
Ms. Smith, do you have a response?
No, but I heard most of that. It's muffled, but I could hear him most of it. And I'm perfectly okay with her doing all of that. And that the same loss that she had, her mom and then her dad, my 11-year-old son had that. Right? So, then when he hears, that his dad's landlord talking, that, people are talking bad, about his family, and then he doesn't have his dad's ashes and stuff it's hard on him. He's missed 3 weeks of school from this. Because he's in counseling, he's threatened to hurt himself. It's been really hard on him. So, this is all really hard on him, too. I'm sure it's hard on everyone. So, I really want to just get this all settled and all of this to be just open and settled for everyone. I don't want to fight with anyone. All I want is for this to be easy on everyone.
Let me respond real briefly to the issue about the ashes. I know we're taking up valuable time of the commission, but Ms. Hamrick was appointed administratrix over 30 days after the death, and when she received the ashes, she buried the ashes. Were you going to? Her intent was to bury the ashes with his mother and father. That was the intention. if there's a discussion to be had about that, I will get your address from the court file here and send you my address. But that was her intention, was to bury his ashes with the mother and father.
Yeah, at the funeral, the original plan was to split some of the ashes with the kids. So Isaac bought an urn. And then after that, like I had spoke with Laura.
Yes, but I was in shock. I just lost my brother suddenly.
She told me that she was going to marry them.
I'm not sure.
And we're okay with that.
Right.
I'm okay with that if Lee's with his mom and dad. As long as Isaac and Bree can be there. I don't even have to be there. I don't care. I really don't, as long as Isaac can be there.
I'm not sure if I plan to have any kind of service. I mean, I'm just going to bury him.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not sure if I just want to have any kind of service. I just plan to bury him.
These are issues that the dean
I
worked out
apologize.
themselves. It's not a commission issue.
Thank you. I apologize.
So,
Well, I mean,
we can do a motion to uphold.
Yeah, and I have great faith in Mr. Clay. I've known him 40 years. It sounds to me, from what I've heard today, that he's doing it in accordance with the statute, exactly the way I would do it. She's doing what she's supposed to do, and she's under bond.
Okay, that would be my recommendation.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we uphold things as they are presently. And to the lady on the phone, Mr. Clay has agreed to open a conversation with you and you guys can work this out. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, that motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. We appreciate you all coming in.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break.
I've got her address. I'll write it.
Okay, we're here now with Mrs. Lisa Strader, visit Southern West Virginia with an update and delivery of reports.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
I just wanted to come and deliver our annual report on our financials for the end of 22, I don't know what year it is, and kind of give you an update of some things that we're doing for in conjunction with Summersville CVB for 23-24. So first off, we're bringing an influencer in right after Memorial Day. He'll be here for 3 nights and 4 days. And then we are also working to bring a TV show, it's called Fishing University, that will, if the stars align, they'll be filming mid-May, and it will not air until till spring of 24. Part of that is doing something at the high school, and there's a lot of in-kind. We're gonna do the cost of it, but we need some in-kind stuff, and Tracy's working on that on this end. We also put Susan James on our executive committee to give Nicholas County more of a voice and for us to be more apprised of what's going on in Nicholas County. So those are the big changes we've made and the things that we have going on since I was here last. And I will give you this. Like I said, this is our annual report for 2022 and our marketing plan for 2023, our end of year financials, and our visitor's guide that literally just got off the truck today.
Fantastic.
Do y'all have any questions for me? I don't want to take up your time with a bunch of stuff you guys can read, but
The influencer and the fishing stuff, is that throughout the entire, your entire service area, or is that just
no,
specific?
no, we will be, so the influencer who is coming to Nicholas County, that is, what we're going to prioritize is things to do in Nicholas County and the proximity to the New River Gorge. So there will be some Fayette County in it, but I think that's very important because trying to push some of these people that are going to the Fayetteville area, you know, with the crowds and stuff, to come down into the Summersville, Nicholas County area, I think is important. So that is our game plan. Usually they only come for 2 nights, 3 days, but this gentleman looked at everything and he wants to stay 3 nights and 4 days. So primarily he will be staying in Nicholas County, And then he'll go into Fayette County probably for just one day of that. The fishing will strictly be Nicholas County. Now, there will be a 1-minute commercial that's included in the television show that'll run, and that will be regional.
Very nice.
And like I said, if the stars align.
Great.
There are certain things that he's talked to some local people who fish here, you know, because we have to wait for the lake to get up with water, which I think it's close now. They need to do it before school ends because that's part of this series. And, but they need to do it early because the fishing's really not good later, because then we'd have to wait till August when school goes back in. So hopefully, you know, we've got everything right now except the schools. Tracy's out of town today. I have a call with her tomorrow, and if, you know, I may need some help with an in-way there, but if she has any issues, but.
And we need to include Richwood in your fishing because of all the trout streams and things that are up there.
Yeah, and you know, we can get them to talk about that. This is a bass fishing. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I am not a fisherman, so I do know it's very popular. We do have a fishing tournament coming in July of this year. The Hobie tournament, which is Hobies are fishing kayaks. And they're going to be throughout the area. I think they're going to give people different tributaries they can fish, and they just have this window. So if they may come to Nicholas, they may come to Fayette, they may come to Raleigh, they may go to Summers. So they get to choose based on the tributaries. So, you know, I did reach out to Bobby Bauer, who does the fishing trips on Summersville Lake, and he put the television people in touch with a gentleman named Wes, who was very versed on everything. I'm not sure who that is. And so, I did do my due diligence because, like I said, I'm not real familiar with this television show, but it will run 20 to 24 times in 24. And from what I understand, I've talked to 2 different fishing companies, and they both said it's most definitely worth it, the investment to do it. So, and the gentleman the 2 gentlemen are coming, they're both like on the pro bass fishing tours. So, you know, I looked them up. They're obviously very well known in that area. So, just a little different segment instead of just all the other adventures, fishing. And for some reason, we've really been getting a lot of that recently.
Very cool. Any other questions? I don't have any, but thank you all for coming in.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're a minute late, so I apologize for that, but we're almost back on track. Yeah. But now we have with us Miss Mary Jane Williams, who is the grant coordinator for the Richwood Area Chamber of Commerce. And this is followed up from the April 5th meeting, talking about the historic walking tour and renovation of the fire tower, some pool repairs, as well as monetary considerations for the Feast of the Ramson and the Scenic Mountain Triathlon.
Yes.
So the floor is
Well, since we were here last, Commissioner Roberts did a lot of investigating and got a few people to match some of the things that we have for the historical walking tour, which is really great. We're still down to where we need about $2,000 to be able to rent the 125-foot lift.
How much was that? I'm sorry.
About $2,000. We have, the lift is now down to $3,400 is what he told me. With some of the money that was freed up by the things that Commissioner Roberts got, I can apply to that, but I still need, $2,000 to be able to bring that lift in for the week. And we're also probably going to be able to expand our brochures instead of just doing 1,000. I think I can do maybe 1,500 because of other donations. So that's really great. It's just that the equipment's the hard thing to come by. So.
Sure.
All 3 of them.
I guess let's run through them real quick and then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Then
so
the pool repairs.
the pool, we had another $7,300 that was the balance of what we had to do the change order for. So we're still in need of that. Nothing had changed there other than he found something else, but hopefully it won't cost. And then the third thing then, of course, is the triathlon and the Ramp Festival. And the Ramp Festival's this weekend, the triathlon is July 9th, so those are the things that we're looking at. And, you know, in the past, you were able to, I think you gave us $2,500 for each, the triathlon and the Ramp Festival last year, which helps with all the costs.
Now, like for the Feast of the Ramps and being this close, is that, I mean, do you all have to rent the armory or anything like that, or?
The armory is, what they do is they pay for the cleaning.
Oh, okay.
And it usually takes a couple $100 to clean the place. So we have all the, you know, the purchase of all the hams, the bacon, and all that stuff. So it's a lot of expense.
Okay, if we can go back in order, concerning the walking trail and the fire tower, the request for that project is now $2,000 because of the other funds raised. I would be willing to support that out of full severance.
Has your fund, the Richwood has, have they put any money into this?
The what?
The hospital fund?
Cherry River Foundation.
Cherry River Foundation.
The Cherry River Foundation. I didn't approach them on this one. I just, because I'm always approaching them for the pool and, you know, other things, so I didn't know this.
I don't mean this badly, but it just feels like we're in Richwood's bank, you know, and it's just like every meeting. So that's my only, it just seems like nobody up there is helping.
Well, we have several people that are donating even more money for the brochures, that kind of thing. And we do have a partnership with Richwood Heritage Center, the Richwood Chamber of Commerce, the Fire Department, Life-Type Metals, which is really good in Nemo, Columbia Forest Products. You know, so it's not just we're here asking for the money. It's just there's a lot. This has grown from a $2,000 grant to about a $20,000 project because of all the support, you know, different support we're getting from different entities in Richwood.
Do you have anything?
Not on the first part. We're going to work these one at a time.
I was gonna make one blanket.
That's what I thought about doing. Just the one quick question, the Feast of the Ramps and the Scenic Mountain Triathlon, are those profitable? Or, I mean,
They help
are you able to cover
support-
those?
Are we able to cover them?
Yes, in other words, do they support themselves at least, at a minimum?
Pretty close, but you know, it depends on, it just depends. Like this week, we're supposed to get 98% chance of rain. So I don't know how that's gonna affect it. You know, we still have to put in all the expenses for it, and if we don't get the turnout, then we take a big cut, and that supports the chamber and the chamber activities that we do.
Right. And I guess that's one of the things that on those two, I just want to make sure that they're not in the hole, or, you know, it's not that they're not gonna happen. It's just the amount of profit that's gonna be made off of those, right, to support those other ancillary activities.
Right, and whether or not it's gonna make it profitable for this year, because we
Okay.
kind of cut it close. You know,
And the triathlon
depends on
gets
the weather.
sponsorship too.
Right.
I say 1 and 3, we put up $5,000 and they can distribute however they want. We put enough into the pool. What do you think?
I would earmark it one way or the other, but if you want to break it.
Well,
that amount.
if we put 2,000 into one and then
I do.
1,250 into each one of the others. Is that right?
But yeah, I mean, that would, yeah. I
Or
would
no,
just,
what,
I would break it down like
12,
that.
1,500 into each one. 15 into the
1,500.
triathlon, 15 into the ramp feed, and then 2,000 for the lift would give you $5,000.
Okay, I mean, yeah, is that your motion?
That's my motion. I say we fund $2,000 for the lift and $1,500 for the triathlon and $1,500 for the ramps. And I feel like we put enough into the pool, somebody else could pick up that too.
Okay, and this is from, we We can take from General County, we can take from Cole Service, and we can take from revenue loss recovery. Which is $10,000.
I was gonna say, let's do that. Let's take 5,000 out of the revenue cost, loss recovery.
So that'll be,
ARPA funds.
okay, so that motion's on the floor. Any further discussion?
You good?
The pool project itself started out at $140,000 for the grant that I wrote, the matching grant. It's now up to $200,000. So we have gotten other monies, that's taken us up to that because they're the things that have happened. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, sure. But we put almost 40,000 already
Mhm.
from us, so.
We've done that as the grant person. I just swear. I don't get paid for that grant, by the way. For some reason, I volunteered for that, and I keep questioning why I keep doing this every year, so.
Yeah, because we were hoping when we did the 30,000, what was it, $400, $700, that was it, yeah. Then we went 7 above that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So we're about 41, almost 42,000. Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. So, thank you, Mary Jane.
Okay, thank you. So it's 200 for the, or 2,000 for the historical,
Yes.
and
for the lift.
1,500 for each of the Ramp Festival and the triathlon.
Yes.
Okay, well, that really helps. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have with us,
What's that?
yes,
Should
do
I
we need to
leave
call
after
in to
that
help
comment? What's that?
serve, or do you show up, or how do you do
Just,
that?
we'll need help all
Okay,
day long.
Legacy's always
so-
calling us, so I just want to
Yeah.
make sure if you had a process.
Yeah, definitely.
Already had a candidate pool or what, so, very good.
The more the merrier. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
And now we have with us Miss Robin Brown, the director of the
Bartlett.
Richwood.
Robin Bartlett.
Yeah.
Oh, she does have Robin Brown
Yeah.
down.
That's fine.
Okay, we will amend the
Sorry,
agenda
Robin.
accordingly.
That's
That didn't sound right, but I was gonna go with it.
That's the other lady.
As presented, right?
I'm sure
Yeah,
you-
she's on the health
I was
department.
gonna say, I'm sure you've seen Robin.
Yes,
right?
yeah, so
We're both
Robin
Richwood.
Bartlett, my apologies
That's fine.
again, the director of the Richwood Public Library, revisiting the discussion concerning their HVAC, which we first discussed on March 1st.
So, it's gone. I have no heat in my building now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna give you this. I think I was supposed to have sent that to you, and I had some things come up with my family, and just realized this morning that I did not bring that in.
Okay.
So here, I have called this company twice, didn't get anything. These are the only estimates I can get.
Okay.
And I have this one, this one is new.
Okay.
Well, I think it was in the other one, but then you all said you only had 3, so that one may not have. And then, this is the one that was messed up. That he had the 2, so I had him redo that again. So now that's kind of.
Okay.
But I literally just Googled heating and air conditioning, because I don't know.
Sure.
And anything that came up, I called them.
And what exactly are you requesting? Because I see where Appalachian did multiple. You own, your
Okay, so
air conditioning is
my heat
operational,
is
just not the
complete.
heat.
My heat is out. My air conditioning last year was a fight. It was off and on. The units are 20 years old.
Right.
So, both of them are gonna have to be replaced.
So these quotes are
So
for-
there should be one for heat only, one for air only, and then one for both. I think the one did a couple of different things. But right now I have no heat, which hopefully we won't need heat much longer. But we are gonna have some cold, like it was cold in there yesterday.
I bet.
Okay.
And I did, I think the last time you asked me to approach the city, I did talk to the mayor, and he said that they give us $1,000 a year, plus they pay our insurance. I was left off of the city levy this year again, so I haven't been on it for a while. He said that he could maybe throw in $1,000 for the heat and air
Okay.
replacement.
statutory thing for libraries. Do we have, is that something?
No. No. So Alpha, you're looking at that.
Okay,
You're looking at 10.5 for that and 15.5 for that.
Yeah, there was a wide range of numbers.
For whatever reason, there definitely is anymore.
so if you take, this is one system.
Right, that's right, that's what I'm marking, so you can compare it direct.
So if you wanted two systems, we're just double this figure.
Right, well, there should be one for heat, one for air, and then one for both on all of those, I think.
This is here.
Okay. But that's only one, is there one or two units you're replacing?
So the confusion was, right now we have 2 units because Alpha Construction just have been kind of trying to patch them up and help me along. So we have 2 units, but we only need one. So like one of them, the air conditioning unit went out in one, the heat went out on the other one. So I'm using the heat on one, the air on the other, and it's, because the one we have now is a residential system. And so we're using 2 of them because it was cheaper, I guess, 20 years ago to do that. So that's why there was some confusion when they came to look at it. They saw the 2 units and thought that I needed 2 full units to do the building. But no, I just need one of each, one heat, one air.
Yeah.
Does this type of stuff fall under like the state matching?
It will not.
It will not.
These are 3 and
So the state does nothing towards any sort of repairs or anything like that, or they won't? I have no idea.
No, I mean, I can use my grants and aid for this, but in order to meet the match, it has to be money from the county commission just for general use. It can't be earmarked for.
Gotcha.
so,
Yeah, that's what I use in mine.
so we can say, let her make a decision. And give her a dollar.
Do you have any preference between the systems, or you're just looking for heat and air?
I am, but Alpha Construction they have been amazing to help me. And just for their loyalty alone, I would like to go with them because he has came and did like minor repairs for me and not charged me anything. He's always been really good. He comes and cleans my filters at no charge. He sprays my outside coils. I mean, he does a lot for me that he doesn't charge me for. I'm not sure that anybody else would do that.
Well, and kind of beside that, maybe I should ask that after the fact, but.
I don't care about the unit type.
As,
I
yeah,
have no
as
idea.
Commissioner Chapman mentioned, I mean, these are 3 completely different brands, units.
Right.
And the lowest is not the best. I mean, is that a time where we can consider the
Well,
better unit?
I mean, you're not buying it, they are.
I was gonna say, can we just give
buy it.
her a dollar figure and let her do with
Yeah.
it what she wants?
Okay, okay. I mean, there's 3 bids. I feel like we've done everything we can do, but I just wanted to make sure.
And then she can do the rest.
But I would recommend that
Well-
minus 1,000.
I was gonna say, I was curious about commission, $12,000.
Well, you're marking for
Yep.
HVAC.
Yep.
Okay, so if you'd like to make your motion.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we give $12,000 towards, specifically for the heat and air replacement.
Okay, thank you so much.
And you can take that and make the purchase as you see fit.
Okay. Thank you so much, I truly do.
And if you could just let us know when that's done.
I can give you receipts.
No, just,
Oh, no,
Just let us know when it's done.
yeah, just say, hey, it's all taken care
Just
of.
keep
I am
us in the
making
loop
call.
of progress.
I am making the call as soon as I get my card.
Okay, great.
Thank you all so very much.
Well, that motion's on the floor. Any further discussion?
Just want to remind you, you had to vote on it.
Yeah, right. We all get excited. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Now you can make a phone call.
Okay.
The motion does pass.
Yeah, you have no idea how excited I am.
Well.
It's been a little chilly in the library the last few days.
Understood.
Is there a time frame? Are you hearing a time frame, like how soon they could?
I hope, I mean, I have no idea because I haven't called anybody, but.
Hopefully soon, yes.
But yes, I will leave a message and let you all know what's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cold
Oh.
service.
Yep.
Okay, unanimous consent that be added to the motion.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we need to know what Bob's thinking.
Yes. Yes.
And they got a string of things.
Yes.
We're going to peel right now.
Well, we gotta do the second reading.
Oh, okay. I'll do that after.
Now you're getting excited.
I know.
All right. We are up to the second reading of the amended ordinance concerning the enhanced emergency telephone system for Nicholas County. Again, for the public record, why we are amending this when we just amended it is that the telephone and cable companies requested more time for the effective date so they wouldn't have to go back and bill 2 or 3 months and effectively, raise people's bills a lot more than we had ever anticipated. And so the amounts do not change. This ordinance still stands at $475 per landline. None of the amounts have changed, none of the technicalities have changed. The only changes that were had was that the effective date shall be moved from February 1st to May 3rd of the rate increases. And that allows again, the telephone and cable companies ample time to prepare. And so if we could, I would like to request a motion to suspend the reading and to approve the second reading of this proposed ordinance.
So moved.
Okay. That motion is on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. We're a little bit early, but I mean, unless you all would like to need to break away for anything, we can go ahead and move to the next. Of course, we all met with Park Manager Stover last week and met with some electrical contractors concerning, and I apologize that I do not have 3 copies, but we did receive 3 quotes for the lighting of the park entrance for Nicholas County Veteran Memorial Park. We can review those here.
I can make you all copies.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, me too.
And that's actually the best one. What's that?
Was that pretty big? Man?
And yes, that meeting that was held, one moment. April 5th at 4 p.m. was a pre-mandatory meeting for the bids. And so, and so that being said, these are the only contractors that were eligible to bid, and all 3 did.
They weren't at the pretty good, were they?
He claims that he was told an hour later he did show up and did walk the path with Manager Stover, which
He wasn't there when we were.
he wasn't there when we were there, and his is not the best amount anyways.
That's an awful lot.
Yeah. I figured about 1/5 of that. So half maybe.
Well, not to defend numbers by any means,
That's a lot.
but to keep in mind, there's a lot of copper, there's a lot of conduit. They are buying one pole, which is $1,500. And of course, the labor.
I would tell people it should be more than $200 or $300. Light bulb, standard light bulb.
But,
That's how it was
I was gonna
$175.
say which DJ or BJ would probably give us one.
Okay, well then, yeah, so we might, which, remember, we told them they had to buy one, so that would have to be
Yes,
that'd have to be a change order, but that would be definitely something we could look into.
It needs done. God.
Yeah, right now, I don't know, on this one, I don't know if I have a recommendation, one way or the other.
Ditch Witch and Hardman's and some rolled up sleeves.
Well, and,
We're also putting in a conduit, that's expensive.
yeah. But, I mean, we did just rent a ditch witch for park staff to put in the electrical lines for one of the poles at the baseball field that went bad. And the power company was able to pull the wire and hook it all up. And, that might be something we just need to look at with.
Why don't you take these back and ask if we did the trenching and then they did the rest? Or take out the dollar figure for trenching, then we don't have to go any further. And, you know, see what we can.
And a power pole.
And a pole.
If I get a
I know
pole.
BJ will give us a pole.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I hope it helps. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's revisit that one.
Yes,
and
so
go
let's
back to the contract.
give me until, I should be able to get this for the next meeting, that's May 3rd. So we'll just table this until May 3rd.
Put some solar panels up there when we have to at the entrance.
Well, it might be cheaper.
You know, we might look at that.
That's pretty, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
I don't know that kind of technology, so if you got a good,
It's called Amazon.
I mean, a really nice.
well, okay, but a
Really
good
nice
commercial,
solar light.
sustainable system.
I mean, you get some of those, even
Well,
high-end solars.
Yeah. I'd even put a battery pack at the base of it.
And had New Jersey, they actually use solar lights for the streetlights.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe if you all will look into that, I'll work in trying to get these down,
Yeah.
and then we can compare notes, because that actually is a pretty smart idea too. I didn't know
I
they
never
quite had
thought
the
about it
technology
just
for
now.
that, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we have here.
Because we have the poles. I mean, the poles are there,
Right,
so.
we just gotta add one more poll.
Yeah.
But that being said, we are down to commissioners' comments. Mary wants none, but I think I might have one, but I'd like to see if you all have one first.
I have one.
Okay.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about, I'll try to put this in the least amount of words as possible. I think we've reached a point financially, in my short tenure here, where we're looking to only try and provide support for things that are necessary and needed, not wanted. So I guess like replacement of something needed versus an expansion or something new. The other thing that we had spoke about, and I think we'd like to put this in action, is that if any organization comes and with a financial request, that they bring a copy of their latest treasurer's report. And then we see what, as Commissioner Chapman puts it, what type of skin that they're looking to put in the game as well. So we definitely want to be a partnership with all organizations and entities in the county, but we want to make it a partnership, not a full support all the time. That's pretty much all I have.
Okay. Well, and it's been raised in my concern regarding our health department, that there was some interest from our friends in Fayette County to combine health departments. And I do want to go on the public record stating that I do not believe that is in the best interest of Nicholas County. We are a plenty large enough county where we can sustain our own facilities, sustain our own staff. We have a well-funded health department. I'm not so sure about our friends across the river, what their situation is, but to my understanding, it is not quite where we are. And I would just urge all of our board members on the health department to keep this in mind going forward, that at least for yours truly, I have no interest in supporting whatsoever a merger, as we have found with other organizations, with other counties. Too often we find ourselves, for whatever reason, even as competent of cities and of a county that we have, receiving the short end of the stick. And when we have the most resources and the most opportunity, I think we just need to stay on our own. So that would be my commissioner's comment.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
No, just remember the Mullins family today is, they laid to rest Cody Mullins.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, that's all. A motion to adjourn.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry, and we do stand adjourned.
Recording stopped.